Hello everyone, and welcome to another watercolor tutorial. I'm just changing my water out because I have orange water, and this is not an orange painting. So we are going to be painting an evergreen kind of Christmas looking tree. So I'm going to take gray. And we're just going to start by covering this whole thing in gray. Whoops, that was too much. Not red. Okay, so you want your piece of paper to look something like this. The gray highlights everywhere don't matter too much. Now, keep in mind we're doing wet on wet, so you want to work in a way that is conducive to the moisture that's on your paper. So depending on whether you have cotton paper or not will determine how you proceed. I am going to take, I have like this bluish green color, but you can use green, you can use blue. I'm gonna probably do both in the end. And I have a liner brush here. And I'm gonna start with the tippity top and then work my way down and then add, like we're basically painting a Christmas tree. So is it a spruce? I don't really know the names of like what kind of evergreen a Christmas tree is. But midway through you can change blues or green or a bit of both. But the point is that we're working wet on wet. And you're spanning, like you're going outwards with your brush strokes. Whoops. And it's important to use like a liner brush or a thinner brush because if you have a thicker one, then it'll kind of, because we're doing wet on wet, it'll spread into this blob, and we don't want a blob. My tree is kind of tri-colored here. Not a big fan of that. Kind of wish I stuck with that original blue. And we can add a little bit of black as well to darken certain areas. And the other thing we're gonna do is take white, or like gray would work too, just like a very light color. And we're gonna drop in that on top of our branches. And that'll, because we're doing wet on wet, it'll fade really nicely, or that's the hope. And just make sure you rinse your brush frequently. Oops. Okay, so this didn't really end up looking how I had envisioned it. It's way too large on the inside, or like the middle. So what I'm gonna do, I'm taking a slightly bigger brush. I'm gonna try and pick up some of that color in the center to make the tree a little skinnier. But this was not a wise decision because all of that is going to cauliflower out, and that's not great. So what I'm going to do is redo the background, or just like paint over it again. I don't know why I keep picking up red. I don't know if you're going to see this tutorial, because this is not a tutorial, this is just a failure. And frankly, I'm exhausted because my baby just will not sleep. I am so tired. I am so tired, guys. I'm getting very frustrated. Okay, stay focused. Stay focused. It's just so discouraging when I look at this. Like, I just wasted 7 minutes, and I know 7 minutes is not a lot to you guys, but like, I just want to go to sleep. And yeah, when you're tired, everything seems like a big deal. The smallest things trigger me, at least. So I'm gonna try this again. I'm making my tree a little bit taller this time. And I'm going to make my branches a little bit thinner this time. I'll have some little sub branches coming off. And I'm mixing the bluish green color that I have with black. Okay. I really don't like how this looks. I really don't. Maybe I'll try using acrylic paint. Maybe that will help, like white acrylic paint. I'll just put it on top of the branches because the white that I was using previously is watercolor. And while mine is quite opaque, it's nothing like acrylic paint, of course. I don't know how some people do not go crazy. Multiple kids. Or, oh my gosh, if you have twins, how do you not lose your mind? like the sound of my baby crying gives me this PTSD at this point. Or at least at night. At night it does. I just want to sleep, guys. I just want to sleep. I'm really close to crying. I'm close to losing my mind publicly on the internet. If you don't have children, please appreciate your sleep. Like, if you wake up and you just had a full night of sleep, just think about that for a moment. And know that there are many desperate moms out there in the world who only wish that they could have a full night of sleep. So this still really does not look great to me. It's a little bit better with that white acrylic paint. Maybe, like, I basically just negated everything I painted though with that white acrylic paint. Ooh, yes, okay. Maybe I'll go back in underneath it and just add some detail back to this. Oops. You know you're desperate when you're really close to crying on camera. That is how I feel right now, hearing my baby cry. They say this time doesn't last forever, but man, does it feel like it does. Like 8 months in, guys, and I am really, really freaking tired. Okay. So it's kind of looking a little bit better than it originally did, because that was looking really desperate there for a moment. I'm going to water down my acrylic paint for a moment here, or sorry, not for a moment. I am going to water it down. And then I'm going to spickle it on, bang it against a brush so it kind of makes it look like it's snowing, but I don't like how that looks. It was too watered down, so now it just looks like it came down in a blob. I really liked how when we added the darkness underneath the white, it kind of, it made it look a lot better. So I'm gonna try to keep doing that. I am going to add a bit more of the white for the snow in certain areas. So I think I'm gonna run out of space on my camera soon. So that's part of the reason why I'm kind of trying to, I don't want to say rush through this, but there is a bit of an urgency to get this done because I can't, there's only so many things I can delete before I cannot delete no more. You know what I need to do? I need to watch The Office to cheer myself up a little bit. So in the center, I just kind of discovered this. I'm adding like a fan of bristles going down in each layer. Not in each layer, probably the middle layers. So one last thing that I might do here, I feel like I can add some white snow, but I want to add red somewhere because that'll provide a nice contrast to the greenish blue, make it look extra Christmassy, extra holiday-y. But I'm just manually putting down my snow because you saw what happened the last time I did that. I had too much water on my paintbrush, and that's why I did that. But this is fine too. Okay, where can we put red on this thing? Like maybe we can paint a little bird, or we can just paint some, I don't want to do something without thinking, but I do feel like adding red somewhere would really liven things up. What if I were to just take no, I don't think that's a good idea. Oh, you know what? Okay, it's too late for me because I've already started adding these tiny red dots. But you could put like holly in the corner with the red berries. That would look nice, I think. But I'm just gonna add a few red dots. These can be whatever you want them to be, ornaments, red berries. I just wanted a tiny little pop of color. So I'm gonna leave it at that. This ended up looking a lot better than it did like 10 minutes ago, so I will consider this a win. I don't know why it just didn't work out in my favor this time, but let me know what you would have done differently. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for putting up with my complaining, and I will see you in the next tutorial.